guys, Anthony here, Bibles and Barbells, with the follow-up video that I promised you yesterday regarding the video I did asking the question, what caused you to step up your preps? And it seems like I got a really big response with people responding on all, from all ends of the gamut on what got them prepping or what caused them to step their preps up to the next level. And we'll probably have to do a whole video just reading over some of the comments for that video. Very interesting stuff, from storms, from September 11th, from economic, potential of economic collapse. Those factors all weighed in on people's decision to step up their prepping. And just to make it clear with me, I've been prepping for many years on and off, some years more serious than others, but Y2K back in, before the year 2000 obviously was there were a lot of big scares going on, and I was living in Pittsburgh at the time, did do a lot of prepping for that, and was getting ready for, the unexpected. And then moving here to South Florida right before the September 11th attacks on our country, that really was an eye-opener as well. Seeing that and being from New York originally, having lived and worked in that area where the attacks were, kind of really hit home for me. But again, if I had to go back and think of one incident that got me really opened my eyes, it was back in 2008. I started this ministry, Bibles and Barbells, in 2004, 2005. It started as a Bible study in my garage and a workout, and then it grew into going out into the community, into the local parks with people and showing them how to work out, and also doing a Bible study out in the parks in the community where I was living. And so in 2009, I took the ministry to YouTube, and it's been on YouTube ever since. And it's kind of combined mind, body, and spirit. So you see videos on working out, physical fitness, stuff like that, prepping, preparedness, videos like that. And then you'll also see the spiritual component, which is Bible studies, devotionals, things of that nature. And those all three go together with mind, body, and spirit. And I believe that is my calling to YouTube, and to continue in that mode. And so it was December 30th, I believe, in 2008, and I'm going to have attached to this video, I think there's 30 photos that I took that day in downtown Fort Lauderdale. They're dated and they're time-stamped, so you can see that, number one, I was at that event. Number two, I did take pictures there, and who I'm going to be mentioning, the people I'm mentioning at that event, I was actually with, standing next to. The news media was there, and so I have a recollection of that event and what transpired on an eyewitness first-hand basis. What happened was back then, the end of 2008 and then into 2009, there was a series of, there were some issues going on with Hamas and Israel. There were a lot of political things going on here in South Florida. One of them was Alan West was making a run for Congress. He was going to these rallies in Fort Lauderdale and also in Miami, and so I started to took my ministry, and I just went, and in the beginning just was an observer, like I was that day. Took my Bible in my hand. You'll see in a picture, there's a picture of me with a hat on with the flag on top, have a cross on, and I have my Bible in my hand. I was there that day not so much to hold a sign up showing solidarity or whatever with Israel. I was there to uphold biblical truth, and then also to observe what was taking place firsthand. So that was my reason for going that day to that particular gathering. And you'll see from the video I'm going to attach also, I'll put a link to it, Tom Trento, who back then I guess was just starting out covering these kind of controversial events with Islamic terrorism and its threat to the United States of America, its threat to Israel, and just covering that whole part of what was going on. Tom happened to be there that day. I didn't know him at that time, and he took a 8 or 10 minute video of the events that I was at. So the same events you're going to see still pictures of that I took, you'll see a video that Tom Trento took showing actually physically what took place and what was happening. So basically we went to, myself and another gentleman, part of my ministry, drove down to Fort Lauderdale, parked our cars, and walked over to the area, the corner of Broward Boulevard, and it was right on the corner where First Baptist Church of Fort Lauderdale is. The opposite corner was the federal building, so the opposite street corner was the federal building. And there were a small number of people on the side I was on, and they had, you'll see in the video and in the pictures, they had signs they were holding, saying different things about supporting Israel and Christian values, things of that nature. You'll see that, and you'll also see that in the video by Tom Trento that I put the link to. And so we basically were there for a short time and just mingling around. The media was coming in. There were a few, police there, just, I guess, there to keep order. And on the other side of the street where the federal building is, there in the beginning was a small number of people gathering, counter-protesting what was going on. And they were upholding the Palestinian view, and a lot of their signs that you'll see were very, very disturbing to me of what they said. But again, they had the right to hold those signs up and express their First Amendment rights. So, though I didn't agree with what they were holding up, that was their right to do that as citizens. So, as the rally went on, Alan West showed up. He came on his Harley. You'll see in the pictures, my pictures, he has like a biker jacket on. You could see I think it says VTX in the back. He did show up. He was, talking to the media. He was talking to different people that were there. I didn't know all the faces that were there. Again, I was just observing. I wanted to just see how the events were going to unfold. And so shortly into it, and the pictures are time-stamped, so you'll see it's kind of getting darker out in the pictures. Heading east down Broward Boulevard, so coming from the west, then heading east, which would be towards us, were many, many vehicles and motorcycles waving Palestinian flags, people sticking themselves out of sunroofs, holding flags up, Palestinian flags, shouting obscenities, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. And they made the left-hand turn, and they were going to park. As they were coming, more and more people started gathering on the opposite street corner by the federal building, and now they're spewing, go back to the ovens, death to the Jews, and all different things you'll see in the video. I'm not making it up. And so I'm observing this, and as it's building up, I'm getting a little bit nervous, because now there's, you could almost count the number of people on our side, or on the side I was on, maybe 20, 30 people at best on our side. On the opposite side of the street, estimates run to over 300 people. And they're spewing, and these people are screaming and yelling and getting very agitated. And so one of the first things I did, I started talking to the police that were stationed there. There was a female police officer, and I think one or two male police officers. And I remember going up to the I think it was the female officer, and I said, "Officer, have you called for backup?" And she kind of just looked at me funny and says, "No, just stay on your side, blah blah blah." And so I said, "You're going to need to call backup. The other side of the street is becoming agitated, and I think there's going to be a physical altercation taking place here." And so, I don't know if she listened to me or not, but shortly thereafter, there were police on horseback. There were other police vehicles that did show up, and other police did arrive. But it was at the point where, by the time they arrived, the people supporting Hamas or Palestinian causes on the other side of the street made a move towards us. A physical altercation was about to take place, and this was no idle threat. This was people coming across the street and looking. The look in their eyes was the look of, "We are going to kill you, and we are going to roll over you." And so I remember distinctly, I was a few people behind Alan West. He was on the street corner, and he had an American flag in his hand, and he was waving it, and there was a gentleman next to him with an Israeli flag waving it at the other side of the street. And basically, there were no obscenities from the side I was on. There were just, normal protesters or picketers holding up signs, waving flags, things like that. And I remember, out of the corner of my eye, I was taking pictures, so I wasn't always looking at what was coming at us from the other side of the street. And I remember, out of the corner of my eye, when the rush of the crowd started coming to make their attack on our side, I remember seeing Alan West, and he was holding the American flag, and he's a war veteran, Iraqi war veteran, I believe. And he was the first one. He had nobody behind him. He didn't come with an entourage or a bodyguard or anything like that. In fact, he wasn't even a member of Congress at the time. He ran full head on into the crowd with his flag. It was like, sort of like a Civil War type thing, where the flag bearer would go forth and the rest of the troops would follow him. Only there weren't that many troops following him. There was only a few people on our side. And I remember he just, without hesitation, ran across the street and met these people head on that were coming across. And then before you know it, it was, they rushed into us. The police got involved. There were no physical injuries that I know of, but from what you're going to see in the video and even some of my pictures, that event woke me up to, my God, there is an undercurrent going on in our country right now, and even in where I live, in the city where I live, close by to the city where I live, that there are people that want to kill and are spewing this type of hatred. It really woke me up to, and I was prepping at the time for like hurricanes and things of that nature, because that was common down here. In 2005, I got an eye-opener with Hurricane Wilma, and so that woke me up to prep even more. But this particular incident, and seeing what can possibly happen in your own community, and the people that are out there and about, and these people have jobs probably and go about their daily lives, and the hatred that they were spewing was really, really eye-opening to me. And it gave me firsthand knowledge on the possibilities of the future of this country. And if we didn't get our act together and come together as a country and fight off this type of hatred and change our approach to this, we were going to be in a lot of trouble. And that was 2008. Now we're in 2014. Things have not gotten any better. The government that is in power right now in the United States is corrupt, I believe, to the core, is facilitating a lot of this hatred. In fact, they are financing a lot of it. with monies going overseas to so-called arming these moderate Islamic extremists, and lo and behold, now you have ISIS and ISIL. Where'd they come from? Who were they products of? Did we create them? Well, we're certainly sending enough billions of dollars over there to facilitate them becoming a force to be reckoned with. But at the same time, I don't believe what I'm hearing in the media, that these people are going to take over the world and roll over the United States of America. I just simply don't believe that. I think it's conjured up, and I think it's make-believe to scare the United States people of the United States. But that's a whole nother video. But this video is to tell you that what caused me to step up my preps, and that is every area of prepping: food, water, shelter, self-defense. All those areas were assessed and stepped up from 2008 through current, and I continue to do so. And it was a wise decision. It was a good choice. I'm still in South Florida. Doesn't mean I'm always going to be here. May move somewhere else down the road. I don't know. Wherever the Lord takes us, we will be. But right now, I am still down here, and I am making my voice heard on YouTube, via YouTube, and also other things I do in my ministry. And so my answer to my own question is the incident in 2008 in Fort Lauderdale, the Pro-Hamas rally that took place. There was definitely a scary event, and definitely an eye-opening event to see this in my own country, and to see the possibilities that could happen if left unchecked. And so from then on, I really got involved, didn't help directly in Alan West's campaign, but he did end up going to Congress, getting elected. And I did go to many other rallies that he was attending to hear him talk, and just to show my support. And I have a video also on that back in 2009 on a rally he was at speaking. I'll put the link. It's one of my earlier videos. I'll put it in the description box also. You guys can see it. And so I did attend these rallies almost weekly, showing my support for Israel and my, bringing my ministry to the front lines, if you will. And so that's my answer to my own question, guys. I'll do another video on some of your answers, and some of the things that we'll make a list, and some of the things that caused you to step up your prepping. But mine was in 2008. That was one event that I stood as an eyewitness to that really woke me up. Okay, and so that's my video today. Comments, feel free to comment if you were there or knew about that or heard about it. Let me know. Watch the videos, look at the still pictures that I'll include in this video, and let me know what you think. Anthony signing off. Stay ready. Take care.